Hey, hi guys, right, welcome back. All right, so this is going to be a storyline where, because we got all the greenery in the background, I wanted to go with like what's new, what's green, what's growing. And we have the moon in the reverse. So what's fresh or new could be Piscean energy. It could be somebody who's stepping forward to speak their piece, reveal something. We have an Eight of Wands. Okay, something is coming right toward our Aries. Something or someone who has, because we see the owl here, I feel like somebody is listening to their intuition or an ancestor, and it's like, it's time I go tell Aries everything. It's time I just go see them, take action, talk to them, and tell them the whole truth, every piece of it. This is a big reveal, is what I would say this is. Two of Wands. There is, there's only one way forward. A Two of Wands is about the choice. But if you look, we're looking through a telescope. It's not really a choice between this route or that. It's more like, okay, I can see where I need to get to. And both of these speak of distance. So if this is somebody who needs to get their voice across a distance or travel a distance to get to Aries in order to explain something to them, they're willing to do it. We have the world, again, could be travel. They may have to fly and drive to get to Aries, or they have to drive someplace to catch a flight. The world is brand new beginning, and this is the Judgment card, also called the Awakening in this deck. So Scorpio energy, and we see them setting the dove free. This feels like finally, the closer they get to coming toward Aries and just spilling their guts, telling Aries everything that they need to say, the closer they get, the more like enlightened it feels, the better it feels, the more confident they get, instead of chickening out. Now, there is an ulterior way I could read this. This could be a story where our Aries says, you know what, I suddenly realized I'm ready to make some change in my life. I'm ready to take some action. It's something that I've wanted to do for a while, and it's me going to go ahead, and I'm going to be the person who gets out there, makes a massive change. Maybe I'm going to travel. Maybe I'm going to go live someplace else. Maybe I'm going to go and reconcile with somebody that I care about. It could be the Aries doing this. These two cards could represent Aries. The only reason I don't think that is because these are minor arcana. Our majors should trump that. And for majors, we have Pisces, we have Scorpio, we have Capricorn. And we have three majors over two minors, so I'm really leaning toward this not being the Aries, only because Aries is being like diminished by these major arcana. So I feel like it's somebody else. What is it that they need to tell Aries? Seven of Cups. So many things. Seven of Cups is like, where do I start the story? You notice in the sky we have all these little creatures hatching. This feels like, because we've got dragons and we've got serpents, and it feels like a little bit of Game of Thrones kind of vibe going on here. Maybe this person, somebody could live by the beach. Maybe they live in Hawaii, or sometimes I think of, like Bali or Thailand. Heck, maybe Florida also, though. But they may need to travel to get to wherever Aries is. They may need to talk about and explain a whole bunch of things that are difficult to explain, because the Seven of Cups is, how do I, kind of confused about where to start the story. There were many facets of this. And for some reason, I'm wondering if it's like, since I mentioned the dragons, and this is Year of the Dragon, of course, but I mentioned the dragons in connection with like Game of Thrones. Maybe it's like an epic tale of something. Look at this. It's like a whole book series. They have so much that they need to convey to Aries. But it is like, I want to tell you the book of my life. I want to offer you maybe the shrunken down version. instead of every single detail, but I definitely need to give the synopsis of what happened to Aries. We see that they want to change the outcome with Aries. They want to reconcile with the Aries. They want, I don't know if, why do they want to change the outcome and reconcile with Aries? So let's ask that. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, Five of Swords upright, Three of Swords, because they cannot take it. They cannot get over the Aries. They cannot stop thinking about the Aries. They can't handle this heartbreak. They can't handle this stagnation. They can't handle it. And they know it. This has been miserable for them. To be apart from the Aries, to be not speaking to the Aries has been awful. 10 of Wands. But they've really needed to unburden. They've really needed to say all of the explanations. Tell me again, what is your explanation? It's a whole book worth of, things like one thing happened and then another and then another. It feels like this person imagines that they went through something very complicated. It's going to be oh so hard to describe. Temperance, 10 of Swords, 9 of Swords. Okay, well, it could be tough. Tough to explain because when Aries first met them, everything could have been smooth, calm. They could be a Sag. Everything was great. Everything was stable. They felt like they knew who they were. And then some things in their life changed and they didn't think it would be a problem. And then they didn't handle the change so well. And all of a sudden they're having nightmares. They're having all kinds of fears. They're having all kinds of stresses. I don't think it's had anything to do with Aries. I think that their life was very peaceful. And then maybe it was a matter of bad timing. They met Aries and then there something big in their life kind of ended, but it admittedly should have been a painful ending. But it's almost like then they went through the grieving process and the distress process after that. So they were good, then they thought they dealt with an ending, and then it was like it hit them like a tidal wave. All the emotions, you notice how we have like the boogeyman, and we have all these past people, and we have all kinds of stuff. If our character was dealing with, let's say, the loss of anything in our life, a major ending in life is traumatizing, whether it's like I've moved far away from my family, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I miss them so much, or a loss of, say, someone near and dear, a friend, a family member, heaven forbid, those are terrible, experiences to go through. And even if we have a real positive view where it's like, oh, they crossed the rainbow bridge, we can accept the transition. At the same time, it doesn't mean that grief won't hit at funny times. So it could be something along those lines. I'm just saying that they went from calm and wonderful to, oh my God, this ending, I'm not okay with this ending. And in the midst of them trying to deal with that, and maybe trying to hide how shaken up they really were, how difficult it was for them to handle some things, maybe they didn't share any of that with Aries. They might have, keep in mind, we have the first card out was the moon in the reverse. I wonder if they must have tried to hide all of this, everything that they were feeling, and that's all emotion and subconscious. So they might have really been struggling and suffering in silence with a lot of stress. Oneness in the reverse. Yeah, this person might have been going through a lot of feelings of abandonment, feeling disconnected, feeling all kinds of hurt and wound. But then that lost them their Aries. And then the idea of loss and wounding really kicked in. Because now they're realizing they're heartbroken because what they didn't share with the Aries was how they were really feeling about other things in life. And that led to them losing their opportunity with the Aries. And then the guilt sets in. So it's kind of it's one of these stories where it's like, okay, characters really do have to convey to the people that care about them what's going on, because otherwise it can compound the problem when they don't say a word about anything that's going on. We certainly see this individual has become very clear on one thing. I need to go and clear the air with my Aries. I need to tell them what was going on at that point in my life. How is Aries? Ten of Wands, Emperor. In true Aries form, they said, well, this was really messy and I can either keep reliving it and I can be wounded when I think back to how weird things got with that person, or I can let it go, not let it stress me out. I think Aries still was really bothered because in their strongest vibe, Aries is still this howling lion. He doesn't look super happy. Aries could be a masculine or a feminine. I just have to say Aries comes across as very strong in this, but they don't like what happened at all. It was painful, it was chaotic, it was confusing, and this Aries doesn't like a big amount of confusion and conflict. They would rather understand what's going on. I think this Aries is I'm a protector, I'm a provider, I'm the kind of person that would stand beside somebody. Wow. This is my Two of Cups. So for Aries, it's like, why would my person not have just let me in on what they were going through? I was there for them. Aries, what are you going to feel like when this person shows back up? Temperance in the reverse, Six of Swords in the reverse. I think Aries is maybe first going to ask them, are you better now then? You moved away from me before to deal with problems. Are the problems somehow resolved, or did you just get over them, or what happened? I think this almost brings up the question of what were you enduring because you never told me? How did you get through the things that you never told me about? Where are you today? Who are you today? It really feels like this Aries has a lot of compassion and wondering, how are you though? Because you clammed up and you pulled away and you didn't tell me anything. Is this false? Are you back saying now that you want to explain all this to me, start kind of a new chapter? You're all better now, all better. When before you got so overwhelmed by stuff and you didn't even explain it, you didn't feel like you could. So how did you get over it? Are you sure that you're over it? I feel like Aries doesn't want this person to try to start committing themselves into a relationship or promises when they're like, whoa, you just went through some really big stuff. How about we not take things too fast? We have Knight of Cups and we have the Death and Rebirth. I think if anything, Aries is slow. I care about you, but we need to see where this is going to go. With that Death and Rebirth, it's almost like we would need to get to know each other in a completely different format, because now I've found out something about you. When you're having stress, you shut me out. And I think this looks like Aries is careful with this person because they are not really trusting that whatever their character went through, they're just magically over it now. Not when it was so profound and so big for them, they didn't know how to talk about it and they stayed away from the Aries. That's why I think that they're saying this needs to be handled very carefully and very differently. One little baby step at a time. We can do a little bit of romance, but mostly let's not jump into things too much. Let's not try that too swiftly. Let's see what's different, what's changed. Aries might actually suggest that this person takes some more time and not try any kind of romance. No, you need to still just take care of you. How's this person going to respond to that? Because I really feel like this is being said with love. Hermit and the Fool. This person is in two minds. They're like, part of me would like to go and spend more time just off by myself, but then the other part of me would like to just leap into Aries' arms. I feel like they're so grateful that Aries is so understanding with where they were at, where they maybe still are at. This feels so careful. We have a Two of Pentacles and we have the Ace of Wands. Again, they're of two minds. They're going to gain some kind of clarity about one thing, which is Aries is a freaking catch. Anybody that can be this compassionate, that can be this, it's like Aries is just more concerned for them about their well-being. And this person is like, oh my God, Aries is amazing. The way Aries is handling them really is beautiful. They think Aries is their empress, which is funny because Aries is actually an emperor in this one. Um, so I have to say, they may see Aries as the person that they want to marry, that they see that Aries is such a nurturing individual, when in fact, Aries is actually a leader. They're more in their masculine energy. But when they're so kind and so understanding of this character and they care so much about this character getting themselves right, this person says, you're my empress. I think that they're very much in love with Aries, but at the same time, are they ready for anything? Right now, the storyline says Aries says no. They need some more time to deal with what they need to. The Tower and the Five of Cups. I think Aries is saying you have to still get your own footing. You got to feel good about everything. Instead of start something with me and then have a relationship be overwhelming and then it crumbles. Let's not ruin our chance at a relationship. Let me just change who I am to you in this journey right now. I don't think Aries is going to do any romance with them right now. I think Aries is going to insist on friendship, a waiting period, making sure, and this could really disappoint them because I think they really are crazy about how good Aries is being to them. But I think Aries genuinely cares about their health, their well being, their happiness, especially because Aries is like, if this is my Two of Cups, it's it was hard to be apart from them, but I'm realizing that they maybe still have some other underlying things that they're still sifting through. So, no, I don't want to rush them. They want to rush, but Aries is not going to let them. Aries is like, no, no, no. You got to have time to grieve. Aries might say, I know I'm not going to date you for 5 weeks, 5 months. No, it's not a good idea. You need time to just take care of you. What's our outcome here? Nine of Pentacles, Six of Wands, Eight of Pentacles. I think that they are so freaking lucky that they know this Aries, because Aries says, I'm going to be good. You're going to be good. You're working on what you need to. I'm working on what I need to. This thing that we call life is just a chance for us to evolve and keep working and to become the best version of ourselves and feel really successful and feel really happy, especially after we've had losses and setbacks. So we're already winning at this thing that we call life. We're both going to grow. And then when we feel really good, really balanced, really strong, then we can do this romance thing. Till then, we're going to be friends that are growing together. I think that that's a very happy compromise. I think, if anything, this is going to strengthen their bond. We see both of them in really good places with the Nine and Eight of Pentacles there, and then that Six of Wands in the middle. I think that they're going to spend plenty of time together. I just don't think Aries is going to be talking about love and marriage and weddings and, moving in together and all that. I think it's going to be like, no, we're going to get everything organized in life. We're going to have our lives feeling really good. We're going to be feeling really good before we talk about that stuff. But it's not because it's not on the table. It's because that's the upcoming future destiny. But right now, it's time to deal with exactly the way life is. Right now, there's still some more healing to happen, I think. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. Thanks for giving me the thumbs up. Bye.